After more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top aviators, Pete Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him. Top Gun Maverick is directed by Joseph Kosinski, starring Tom Cruise as Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell and Miles Teller as Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, listen to the points made in the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and without further ado, let's talk about Top Gun Maverick. Saw this film last week and I've just let this film wash over me, let it all simmer with me, and just to really take it all in with what has been done with this film. And I think with this film, it is completely a fresh breath of air at the box office. And I have to absolutely, let's start with, I'm actually gobsmacked with this film. That's why I can't talk properly about it, because it's really blown me away. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Cruise. The man that doesn't stop running. The man that time and time again proceeds to shatter our expectations with what can be done physically in a film. And the fact that this guy went above and beyond, no pun intended, to get a group of actors and make them do Navy and aviation training to get inside an F-18 fighter pilot. I don't think ever, and you know, you guys in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever seen a film do that practically in my lifetime. To have an actor be in that F-18, you know, going 7.5 Gs is just absolutely mind-boggling. And all of the training, all of what the actors went through, you can see it just pay off on that screen. You feel every moment, you feel every gasp, you feel every moment of tension, every moment of emotion as well, because you really know it's for real. You know it's the real deal. You know these actors are in these planes. What I love about it so much practically is that the director would have to have this rapport with the actors and tell them, you know, this is, you know, well, Tom and Joseph, they'd have to tell the actors, you know, this is what you have to do to look good on camera, because the director wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be in the cockpit. So he was relying on the actors to not only be inside the F-18 as it is, which is challenging enough as it is, bloody hell, one can imagine, right? And to then act and then think about the cinematography as well within the cockpit as well. And I have the utmost appreciation for this film, practically, production wise. And you know, for any people that don't understand, you know, anything to do with, you know, with film in general, you know, to even make a short film, it takes a month, all right? It takes a month, it takes a week, of your time to do a short film. To watch something that's in between 5 and 15 minutes long, it can take you a week. And these actors are doing it, going it at literally at the speed of sound, thinking about their performance and then thinking about the cinematography. Where have we ever seen this before, people? My mind is blown. But let's talk more so about, especially with where Tom Cruise, where Pete Mitchell is in this story, and you still see this internal conflict within himself, with him being this you know, this kind of nurturing, empathetic person, but also the inner drive within himself with being the best. And even after 36 years, he's still the same person, right? And I feel you see that even in this film, that his character feels it even more because time has gone along. It's almost like as if all of his emotions have actually doubled, you know, and he really is at the stage where he would quite happily go out on his shield doing the thing that he loves the most. And it only adds to the thrilling nature of the film and also the character development and his interactions with people. And great work from Tom Cruise. You can see that over the years, Tom Cruise has not only learned that appreciation for the more quieter moments, the more sentimental moments, and obviously he's gone through the gears of practical stunts and all the things that we've come to know him with, him being a daredevil. So he's found that right blend, and you really feel it in this film, in Top Gun Maverick. And you know, that cheesy nature that we saw when it was 36 years ago in Top Gun, that's obviously been dialed down, but it's still somewhat there. That kind of you know, that kind of subtle levity between characters is still there, and it's quite endearing. The air sequences, the aviation, the dogfights were brilliant, and I did not expect the movie to start in the way that it did, and it really did set the stage for everything else that was thrilling that was going to happen in the film. And my God, when it got to the air sequences, and especially the perspective, the point of view of the cameras inside of that F-18 cockpit looking directly at the actors, and they're just fucking bombing it, just streamlining, just going so fast, right, with those cameras inside the cockpit. It was utterly amazing. And honestly, in the third act, they do a maneuver with a plane that I've never seen before, ever, in a film. And my whole screening literally moved forward on the edge of her seat and said, "Oh shit." We had never seen anything like that. The third act was mind-boggling and just brilliant in every way possible. As much as Top Gun Maverick is an action film, it really is this character study about Pete Mitchell and his character arc, and so much so as this character arc that is interwoven between Pete Mitchell and Bradley Bradshaw, which in the trailers is said that he is the son of Goose from the first film. And I just absolutely love the way that they introduced Bradley, and they've done some really nice hint subtext exposition from the first film, and man, oh God, that hit me in the heart. Really, that really got me, because I was fresh off watching Top Gun the day before watching this film, and when they'd done that throwback, I was like, oh shit, could feel that shit, you know what I mean? I can't lie, I let one man tear drop. It got me. To see where those characters with Pete and Bradley, where they start in the beginning and where they end up, is some great writing, and it goes back to that 101 character arc trait of doing, you know, what is it that a character wants, but what is it that they really need? And I feel like the writers, they really did cross their T's and dot their I's with that. There was no stone left unturned with that. Felt like the love interest in the film was handled well between Tom Cruise and Jennifer Connelly, called Penny. And in the first film, this Penny character, she's only mentioned once during the bar sequence with the karaoke with Goose, Pete, and young Bradley all doing their sing along. But you know, we she's kind of that rear view mirror showing us the perspective of this other, you know, perspective of what Pete was like when he was young. And he, you know, she quotes all of the mad things, what he was doing back then when he was young. But from obviously from her point of view, it's all kind of like amplified because, you know, they've had this on and off relationship. And as much as in time she's felt let down by him, sorry, she's always felt that there was more to him, you know, especially in the way that he acts. To quote Mark Latier from Soft White Underbelly, people do things out of love or out of fear. And if you know Pete Mitchell, he, in a way, he has no family, you know, like it all stems down from Top Gun, you know, that whole thing of wanting to be the best, you know, to prove that he could be like his dad in the wake of his passing. And also, he also wants to fill that void in his life, in his heart, by having these really flushed out, beautiful relationships with people, you know. And he is that guy that will jeopardize the whole world to save one person. He's actually got similar traits to Steve Rogers, Captain America, in a way. But it just goes to show how much heart Pete really has, even if sometimes he doesn't get things right all the time, you know. I just love how passionate and really endearing he is. And Penny, like, she serves as that emotional anchor for him. She does a good job of, you know, putting him where he needs to be. And a big shout out to the Top Gun squad. You got Hangman, Phoenix and Bob, Fanboy, Payback, Coyote. They were all cool characters. You know, I love the whole thing of their call signs. But honestly, and in this film, Hangman is like the Iceman from Top Gun. He's that kind of that snarky guy that will get underneath your skin, you know, and pull the strings, you know. But also in a way, when he's being that way, he finds a way of, because he's kind of got that gamemanship within him, it actually makes the other people in the crew up their game, because, you know, they think, oh, this fucking wanker over here keeps pushing my buttons. I'm gonna show him something. In a way, it's sportsmanship that's elevating everyone. But ladies and gentlemen, I cannot honestly recommend this film anymore to you. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Literally, stop what you're doing, book some tickets, go out and see this with some friends, or just go and see the film. And I guarantee you will have an absolute blast of a time. And I'll be giving Top Gun Maverick a solid 9.5 out of 10. You know, I've heard people say things about the villain. You know, it's a bit obvious about what happens in the third act if you've seen the film or you haven't. But I just feel like, because everything was done in such a way where characters was written so well, it didn't really matter if the plot was simple. It didn't, you know, because everything else was done so well, you could accept it, you know. And, you know, again, I would say that with heroes and villains, it's all about perspective. You know, you could say the way that Maverick and Rooster looked at each other was that perspective of antagonist versus protagonist. And that's the way I took it, you know. And, you know, if that wasn't your cup of tea, then, you know, kind of like, so be it. But for me, it just, it just really hit the spot, you know. And I can't recommend the film enough. And yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Go see it. I will be seeing this with my family again. And if I 100%, I need to see this film in 4DX. I've never seen a film in 4DX, but if it's any film I'm going to go watch and see, it will be Top Gun Maverick in 4DX. But guys, thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out the description for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.